Hello. What if I told you that the 5 best-selling budget electric scooters at Walmart, Target, and Amazon were never designed to last? They were engineered to sit in a price range that feels too cheap to research and too expensive to throw away without guilt. And the companies selling them are counting on you never comparing them to what $50 extra would have bought you. Most people walk into a big store, see a scooter between $150 and $350, recognize the brand name from a commercial they half remember, and swipe their card. They don't check the reviews. They don't ask what voltage the battery runs, or whether it's a 36-volt or 48-volt system. They don't know that the range on the box is measured with a 130-pound rider going 9 miles per hour on a perfectly flat surface. And they definitely don't know that the hub motor buried in the rear wheel was chosen because it's the cheapest drivetrain to manufacture, not the most reliable. And that's exactly the trap. Today we're counting down 5 electric scooters sold at big stores that are built to fail, and then 5 best electric scooters you should buy instead. Number 4 on the avoid list was recalled for brake failure. And the number 1 scooter you should actually buy costs less than you'd think and outperforms every scooter on the avoid list combined. Make sure you hit that subscribe button because we post new videos every week that cut through the marketing and tell you what's actually worth your money, putting the real information back where it belongs, with you. So here's the list. First, 5 electric scooters built to fail, ranked from disappointing to absolutely unforgivable. Number 5, the Gotrax GXL V2, the gateway scooter that leaves you stranded. This is the best-selling budget electric scooter in the country. Thousands of reviews. First result when you search cheap electric scooter. And Gotrax knows it. They've been riding that first mover advantage for years. The box says 15.5 miles per hour and 12 miles of range. Honest testers measured 12.5 miles per hour and roughly 7 miles before the battery starts dying. In that last 2 miles, the scooter slows to a crawl that's barely faster than walking. The 250-watt rear hub motor can't climb a hill. Riders over 170 pounds report the motor struggling on anything steeper than a parking garage ramp. There's no suspension. You feel every sidewalk crack through the handlebars. And here's what real owners say. After a bump or a curb hit, some units refuse to charge again. The GXL V2 isn't a scooter. It's a down payment on disappointment that's sitting in your closet 6 months from now. Number 4, the Hover One Journey, the scooter that stops turning on. Hover One is a Walmart house brand in everything but name. The Journey is their volume seller, sits right at that $200 impulse buy sweet spot. It looks fine in the box, assembly is easy. And then reality arrives. Customer after customer reports the same pattern. Works great for a few weeks, then randomly refuses to power on, even with a full battery. The 8.5-inch air-filled tires go flat constantly because there's no tire liner. The folding mechanism loosens over time until the stem wobbles at speed. And Hover One has had multiple CPSC recalls across their product line. The Dynamo was recalled for brake failure. The Superfly hoverboard was recalled for a software glitch that sent power to the motor when nobody was standing on it, 93,000 units. When the parent company has a pattern of recalls, you're not buying a scooter, you're buying a liability. Number 3, the Hiboy S2, the scooter that vibrates your hands numb. Hiboy sells the S2 as a budget commuter with rear shock absorbers. Sounds good on paper. In practice, those rear shocks are fighting a losing battle against 8.5-inch solid rubber tires that transmit every crack, pebble, and seam in the road straight through the deck and into your skeleton. Reviewers describe riding on brick paths as buzzy. Their hands go numb after 3 miles. The folding latch needs retightening every few weeks or the stem develops a dangerous wobble. And that 220-pound weight limit is generous. Riders near that limit report the motor choking on mild inclines. The S2 is reliable in the sense that it reliably makes your commute unpleasant. Solid tires mean no flats, but the trade-off is a ride so harsh it discourages you from actually using the thing. That's not value. That's a shelf decoration that cost you $400. Number 2, the Jetson Bolt Pro, the brand that had a fatal recall. Jetson sells scooters and hoverboards at every big retailer in the country. What they don't put on the shelf tag is the recall history. 53,000 Jetson Rogue hoverboards were recalled on March 30, 2023 after the lithium-ion battery packs overheated, posing a fire hazard that resulted in a house fire that killed 2 children in Pennsylvania. The Bolt Pro itself is a compact folding scooter with a tiny battery, a low weight limit, and a ride range so short it barely qualifies as last-mile transportation. But the deeper issue is trust. When a brand's product history includes a fatal recall and their Reddit AMA was described by the community as a disaster, the question isn't whether this specific model is safe. The question is whether this is a company that earns your $300. The answer is no. Number 1. The Razor Icon. The scooter that literally falls apart. Razor built its name on kick scooters for kids. The Icon was their attempt at a premium adult electric scooter, $700 at Target and Walmart. Then, the down tube started separating from the floorboard mid-ride. 34 reports, 2 injuries, a full CPSC recall of 7,300 units. Razor offered either a full refund or a $700 coupon. They asked consumers to remove the handlebar, ship it back, and dispose of the lithium-ion battery themselves in accordance with local laws. That's not customer service. That's a cleanup assignment. The Razor E-Series has had multiple recalls going back to 2005. Broken welds, detaching handlebars, overheating battery chargers. At some point, a recall history stops being bad luck and starts being a design philosophy. Quick note, if you're buying one or already ride one, this guide I put together is for both. I'm not going to go on about it, but if you want the deeper version of everything I cover in these videos, it's in the description. Now, here are the 5 scooters you should actually buy instead, ranked from solid to absolutely worth every penny. And before we get into it, one thing to understand, the single biggest performance difference between the avoid list and the buy list comes down to battery voltage. A 36-volt system loses noticeable power as the battery drains. A 48-volt system holds its power curve. Keep that in mind as we go. Number 5, the Segway 9Bot E2 Plus 2. The starter scooter done right. If you want something compact and truly entry-level, the slot the Jetson Bolt Pro is trying to fill, the E2 Plus 2 does it without the baggage. Segway's build quality is consistent, the tires are solid, but the suspension actually compensates. The controls are dead simple. It won't go far and it won't go fast, but it starts every time you press the button, and it'll still start 2 years from now. For a first scooter, for a campus scooter, for a last-mile transportation solution from the train, this is the floor done right. Think of it as the urban commuter scooter equivalent of buying a reliable compact car instead of a flashy lemon. Segway's ecosystem backs it. App support, firmware updates, parts availability. When you buy from a company that plans to exist in 5 years, your scooter gets to exist in 5 years too. Number 4, the NIU K-Key 100P, the budget scooter that actually rides like one. NIU sold millions of electric mopeds across China before they ever touched the scooter market, and they brought that engineering discipline with them. The KQE 100P has a 17-degree rake angle, one of the steepest lean-back angles ever measured on a scooter this cheap. That means stability, real stability. It's got front spring suspension, 9.5-inch pneumatic tires, turn signals, and a low deck that keeps the center of gravity planted. It won't crush hills, the motor is modest, but for flat to moderate urban commuter routes, where you need something that feels solid under your feet and disappears when you fold it up, this is the one. It goes on sale regularly, and it's often the cheapest scooter the experts recommend. NIU didn't try to win on spec sheet numbers. They won on how it actually feels to ride. Number 3, the Segway 9Bot E3 Pro, the one that just works. Segway didn't build the E3 Pro to win a spec war. They built it to be the scooter you stop thinking about. 10-inch tubeless tires that don't go flat. Dual elastomer suspension that handles light bumps without the maintenance of coil springs. Turn signals. Apple. Find My Built-In, an app that lets you adjust acceleration curves, set cruise control, and update firmware over the air. The real range sits around 15 miles, not the 34 Segway claims in eco mode, but 15 honest miles at a normal riding speed. That's double what the Hover one delivers on a good day. It's a 36-volt system, so you'll feel the power taper as the battery drops, but Segway's power management handles that taper better than almost anyone in this price class. The E3 Pro doesn't win on any single spec. It wins because Ride 500 feels exactly like Ride 1. Number 2, the Navi GT3 Pro, the scooter that makes you double-check the price. At around $530, the GT3 Pro gives you a 48-volt battery, a 1,000-watt peak rear hub motor, 10-inch tubeless air-filled tires, dual suspension, traction control, turn signals, Apple Find My, and a headlight and taillight. Read that list again. Most scooters don't get that hardware until the $800 range. The 48-volt system is the difference maker. Scooters running 36 volts lose noticeable power when the battery drops below 50%. The GT3 Pro doesn't. It holds its power curve. It climbs hills. It absorbs the road. The watt hours on that battery pack translate directly to real-world range that holds consistent instead of falling off a cliff at the halfway mark. For $130 more than the Hiboy S2, you get a scooter from an entirely different category. That's not a splurge. That's the smartest $130 you'll spend this year. Number 1, the Apollo Dash. The scooter the big stores don't carry. The Apollo Dash doesn't sit on a shelf at Walmart. You won't find it at Target, and that's exactly why it's good. Apollo sells direct, which means they can put the money into the scooter instead of the retail margin. The Dash gives you NFC unlock, Apple Find My, turn signals, self-healing tires, an IP66 waterproof rating, and UL certifications, all under $800. There's no suspension, so if your roads are rough, the Navi GT3 Pro is the better pick. But for riders who want a smart, compact, premium-feeling urban commuter scooter that doesn't compromise on safety or features, the Dash is the scooter the big stores wish they could sell but can't, because it would make everything else on the shelf look like a toy. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, you now know something most scooter buyers learned the hard way. The cheapest scooter isn't the one with the lowest price tag. It's the one you don't have to replace. Smash that like button if this video just saved you from a $300 mistake. Drop a comment below and tell me which one surprised you the most. Are you Team Navi GT3 Pro, Team Apollo Dash, Team Segway E3 Pro? I read every comment and I love hearing from you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video. Remember, sometimes the best scooter isn't the one sitting under the fluorescent lights at the big store. Sometimes it's the one they never wanted you to find.